What's happening, Lego fans, and welcome back. Alex here. Today we are finishing up this rebuild process of this side of the city, now on phase 8. I thought this would just be 4 phases, but it took twice as many, which is fine. It's been a lot of fun. Now, I'm showing you a time lapse of me rebuilding this side of the city. Now, this is actually done after phase 7 was uploaded. You see, after I upload a video, there's a lot of comments that are left on that video about what people like, what they don't like, and some suggestions. And a lot of time, now, first off, I will say I read all of the comments on my videos, and I do my best to respond to as many as possible. So if I don't respond to yours, please don't feel bad, but I do try to get through all of them, because what I've noticed is that the Lego community is just awesome. You guys have such great and positive ideas. Some are very grand, and some I just quite frankly are a little impossible or way beyond my budget. But if they are a good idea and I think I can do them, I'll do them. And this is what happened in phase 7. You guys left me some great feedback because I wasn't totally sold on the layout that I had previously. There were some things that kind of bugged me and bugged you guys too, and you made it known to me. So I took your suggestions and gave it some thought and decided to start rebuilding it to what I'm about to show you. So just want to say a big thank you to your feedback on this. It's always awesome to hear from you guys, so keep it up. And now, not everything's going to be perfect in this new video. It'll continue to evolve as always, but I think it's definitely better than what we had in phase 7. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so here it is, all done. Well, mostly done. There's some things I need to clean up still, but detail a little bit, and that has a lot to do with this, this layer right here. But got everything cleaned out so we can see the train yard underneath and all. Now up here, you'll notice the hospital's up here. I'll explain that in a little bit on why that is there in a little bit. But first off, let's go ahead and take a look, kind of take this all in. It's very different than what I had last week. Decided to, well, you know what? Let's do this. I'll start over here. With the end of it, with Ninjago City. It started this whole mess, I swear. But took the boardwalk out. A lot of you guys didn't like that. Totally agree with you. Took that out, made this old rickety looking dock along it to kind of help the transition from Ninjago City to the bay area here. Now the bay is actually a lot bigger. Well, I mean, it looks small still, but it is actually bigger than the original design. Fit the marina in here, it worked really well, actually. It's still pretty busy. All the boats from my previous layout are in here. Didn't have to sacrifice any of those. Now, I will say the police boat is a little bit big for the area, but, it's parked there out of the way, so it's not bugging me too much. Also, had a suggestion last time about having some sort of protection from waves coming in, so I built this kind of wall here to kind of help with that barrier. Hopefully I did that justice. Also, while I'm down here, my pirate ships have their space back. Hallelujah. Man, it was really crowded down there for a while. So, all right, so there's the marina. Also, very excited to show you the upgrade of the rescue base. I think this rescue base is close to 30 years old, so that upgrade was probably 20 years overdue. Wanted to put the helipad at the top. It was always bugging me that it was always at the bottom. It's always in the way. So definitely a much needed upgrade. Hopefully I did it justice. Very, very cool. All right, so let's go here to the Seaports next. They're crowded, yeah, I will admit they're pretty crowded in here, but I think it's quite functional with the idea that the water would continue this way. This is a little tucked in here, pretty narrow. I get that. That's why I have these smaller cargo ships in here. Yeah, you can have the pilot boats kind of help guide them in and out. So I was mostly pretty happy with how that turned out. Let's go back over here to the marina really quick because I forgot to mention I have these. I don't know if I'm sold on these lights. They are kind of ugly. They look very Minecraft-ish for the build, but I'm not sure that they'll be long for that. But for now, they're there, and I wanted to make sure that it was functional and integrated with the rest of the city here as well. As you can see, I kept the freight train access here so they can get a freight train and get some cargo from the docks into the city. And still in the center of it all is the train yard. That moved, I think. I don't think that moved at all. I think that's probably right where it was in the last update. So not much change in there. Everything else around it moved, that's for darn sure. The police station had some mixed reviews right there, and I totally agree. I totally get it. But as far as it's a police station that has the prison, the little jail cell next to it. And of course, I have all these police vehicles, large vehicles, as you can see over there. And I thought that was just kind of a good place for it to be out of the way, kind of sharing the space of the train yard. And as you can see, I was trying not to sacrifice any of these old sets. And that was kind of what was said. It's like, eventually something's got to give, right? These old sets from the late 80s, early 90s, maybe they go somewhere else. Maybe I do like an old, like 90s city somewhere else in my basement, underneath a table perhaps. But the new arrangement made it possible for them to stay up here. And in fact, I was going to sacrifice this guy, but I noticed that if I can move these guys over, that would fit right here. And so I threw it there. It looks okay. And I have some pieces coming along on Bricklink to get some additional crossings. I don't know these crossings I made a bunch of these crossing gates, but I think they need some red in them. What do you guys think? Probably, right? Well, anyway, for now, they're somewhat functional. So continuing down the road, this was a big change from last time because I had the Seaports along where this road is basically, right? I was trying to make a big change and make it cool, but it just wasn't working out. I also didn't like the fact that where the train track was going. So pulling that out, moving it all the way to the end where basically it belongs, it allowed some more flexibility with adding these sets right there. It also allowed me to make the train station a lot longer. So it actually allows or accommodates the Horizon Express a lot better now. So that was longer. There's kind of like this dead space right here with the turn. I did my best to kind of make this, I don't know, as usable as possible. You can see the train track kind of merges there. I wish I had that. There's a train track that Lego doesn't make anymore that allows for them to continue going straight, but allows them to also cross. I forget the name of it, but it's ridiculously priced because Lego didn't run it for very long, and private sellers are asking way too much money for it. So that's what it looks like for now. But moving right along, yes, there is a crossing here. There's still enough room for people to park their vehicles in this area. When I was looking at it and I was finishing up things, I noticed it was so depressingly gray. I'm like, oh my goodness, it needs green. And I know one of the biggest suggestions that I get, or the most suggestions I get is, wow, Alex, you need some trees, man. No trees in your city. Where's the trees? You need some green. Get some more trees. And you know what? It's kind of frustrating because I get that all the time, and I'll just want to say, like, all right, then send me a million trees then if you're so concerned about it. But anyway, I know my city suffers from lack of green, so I did a little bit of green here and here, a little bit here. I don't have a lot of it, but I did my best with what I had. So there it is. So hopefully a Lego Ideas person wins with a bunch of trees, kind of like the bonsai tree or whatever. I don't know. So that's what it is for now. So anyway, the Crocodile stayed here. The idea is that, yeah, there is a sidewalk here, obviously a crossing with pedestrians. This is a sidewalk. Yeah, it's a little close to the road. Hopefully there's no crazy intoxicated drivers going along when you're walking there. Put a little sign right here so people can still enjoy and get educated a little bit about the crocodile and continue their walking along right here. Just try to make sure that there was some space for pedestrians to walk in this particular area. Okay, now we go to the airport. The airport was tough, guys. This really was tough because I took suggestions that I needed to make it smaller, that I needed to reduce the amount of base plates, basically, to allow space. In fact, let me show you guys something really quick. Let me run to the other side of my basement and kind of give you an idea of the amount of base plates that I took out. See, look at this pile. This was a pile that was probably maybe 4 or 5 base plates before the rebuild. Look at all these plates, green and grays, so many. So yes, I have reduced the amount of base plates, which increased the amount of building space and other things to be included at this side of the city. So here it is. I definitely wanted to keep an airport, and I simplified it quite a bit. I was really happy though I was able to fit this 5-plate long runway right here. So that's the main runway. And other than that, it's pretty simple. Just a couple parking spots here, a little bit of open area there by the terminal. I need to rebuild my terminal because it was way too big. And I think I need to give that control tower some love because it just looks pathetic next to this massive airport building. Now, because I was able to take so many road plates out, it opened up a lot of space on this upper level on this particular side of the airport. The airport was actually a little bit closer to the edge over here. Now, I was having a big problem with the downtown area because the modulars were starting to really take up a lot of space. And I thought maybe I should take some modulars up here, and because I think they would look pretty good up here as well. But the problem is that I have it in my mind to rebuild the Minneapolis City Hospital. Now, before any of you say, no, don't do it, that's the Mindy Hospital, it's awesome, I agree, but you guys got to know that the hospital has gone through like 5 or 6 versions. If you guys have been following me for any number of years, you know that I rebuild this thing quite often, and I want to rebuild it. There's a friend of mine has this cool design I want to follow, and it would actually be not as tall, but definitely a lot longer. So long that it would actually take up the entirety of 2 large gray base plates, which would definitely not fit downtown. Not, of course, unless I wanted to redo it all. Maybe that's some foreshadowing, I don't know. But in any case, I threw it up here right now just for fun to see kind of what it looked like. And yeah, it is really, really tall. In fact, I'm standing on a stool right now, so let me get down. I'm a short guy. So yeah, it is very, very tall. And you know what? It's not bad. It looks okay right there. But I think a new design is definitely in the works there as well. But anyway, take a look at the road layouts in front here. I have the ramp coming up there. There's not really, I think with a hospital and an airport, you do need to have some sort of parking. There was not a lot of room, but I had these maybe 4.5 inches of space here in front that was kind of wasted. So I decided to put some half base plates along here to kind of make it look like there's some good parallel parking available. A one-way street, of course, but that was that's what I put in for now. Will that stay the way it is? Probably not, but for now, it's a place to put a lot of parked cars. So behind the airport, I'm going to give you guys a look at this as well. The airport shuttle track is complete. You'll notice that there is a bypass here. I thought it'd be kind of fun to put a potential airport shuttle station right before you go in to the airport. I need to put some plates on here so it'll support that. But I don't know, if the hospital is built the way I'm thinking, which would encompass the entire dimensions of these 2 large gray base plates, there's not a lot of room for a platform. So that's just something I'm kind of working on at the moment. And also, this is something that I got so many great suggestions on. Thank you for that, on what I need to do with this sloped area. For now, it's still bare. But also, I want to make mention the airport shuttle track. This was interesting because it was too tall to put in one of those the bridge elements. So what I ended up doing is starting all the way to the other station. I added a plate of height for each support. All the way up here till it actually matched the height of this upper level. So I don't know if you guys can see the angle of the bridge going up and down. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's a very, very gradual incline as you come towards the hospital to match it just right. And also, full disclosure here, it was hard to scrap together the shuttle track to get that thing moved down there. I robbed Peter to pay Paul a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys this. Let me go over here. Shuffling along the side of my city. I had so many of these bridge elements right here, so I took 2 of them and put this very unnecessary bridge right here. So I could get 4 straights out of it. And those 4 straights, that gave me the leverage I needed to move the airport over a little bit. I also have to mention that there were other sacrifices besides the base plates, and that is the airport hangar. This guy was just a little bit too big to fit, and of course the little jetway there is going to have to be rebuilt. I think what I'll actually do is use those pieces on the new hospital structure. And another reason why I want to rebuild this thing is, you guys probably can't tell in the video, but I built it with a lot of older bricks, and unfortunately those older bricks have got a little bit yellow. Not so yellow you can see it, but I do want to take those out and use newer bricks so I don't have that problem going into the future with the new hospital design. Okay guys, I think that's it for now. A lot of changes. Again, thank you so much for your awesome feedback through this whole rebuild process. It's been a lot of fun, and I don't think it would look like this, honestly, without your input. Is it perfect? No, it's pretty cool still. I like it. And also, just to finish things off here, let me go over here. This is the next project. I got to get this all. It won't be too crazily redesigned, but I do need to make some changes over here, make this flow. Once I get that done, then I'll take you through the process of rebuilding the hospital, among other things. And maybe one day I might actually just take everything out of the downtown area and rebuild that too. But I have to be pretty bored to do something like that in the future. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching this rebuild process of the industrial area. Let me know what you guys think. Did we nail it? Did we swing and miss? I don't know. So I think for now I'm pretty happy with it to move on. Thank you again, guys, so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.